TikTok, hello Facebook, hello YouTube, of course, YouTube. That goes without saying. Let me just pull up, okay? So I was saying, if you just followed us over, if you didn't, Gypsy Rose did she's been out in California. She's been out San Francisco, Los Angeles. She has been out there, and she has been recording her book on audio. She has been speaking at San Francisco State University, okay, as some kind of victim advocate and victim. It's just crazy. We went over that last night. If you want to see about that, go to last night's video. But today, while I was waiting for my son Luke to get off of cross country, I listened a little bit while I had to wait for the buses to come, and I just couldn't believe it. It was from Fox 11 in Los Angeles. Good Day, LA. I think that's what it was. She went on there. You have two women on the panel. Journalists, reporters, newscasters, whatever, hosts. I don't understand why mainstream media has not done their homework. People magazine is still touting her as a victim, still saying Dee Dee Blanchard had Munchausen's by proxy. Gypsy is repeating these lies. You're a liar, Gypsy. You're a liar. Okay? She's a complete, full-on liar. If you see Gypsy, she may no longer have any derriere because she lied it off. Okay? She just totally lied it off. I don't see how anything could be left. She touted herself as an influencer for prison reform. Yeah. It was so bad, and I don't know what kind of coaching she's going to, but the way they have her speaking, either that or she has lip enhancements and she's not comfortable with them, because the way she's talking, especially when she's recording her audiobook, you hear so much smacking like of her lips and sucking of her lips, and it's really grating. But I'm going to go through this interview with you, because if you haven't heard it, well, it's absolutely infuriating. Put this here. Now, I don't know. I took a little creative license here and here. These were the two hosts. I put question marks, like, what the heck is going on? This is fake. She's fake. This is not real. Okay? Sucker. You're sucker. Pinocchio, self-explanatory. She's laughing all the way to the bank. Her time to stand. She could stand all the time. She always knew she could walk. She's trying to use that as like this metaphor. It's her time to stand against her mother. It's all lies. You want to buy a book of lies? It's out in December. You want to buy a book of lies? Who wants a book of lies? Okay? This is some scam that she is portraying herself as someone she is not. Let's not forget Gypsy over here. Please never forget it. Never forget Gypsy. Never forget her interview. Never forget what she did to her mother. Never forget what she did to Nick Godejohn. Never forget it. Don't let this fake person fool you. Don't let this fake person fool you like it fooled these two women right here. And this one looks angry. She knows she's been fooled now. Okay. So, hang on while I get this. Okay. Okay.
Coles has
Hang on 1 second. Okay, so there's Gypsy. This is how she appeared on the interview, okay? And the hosts say that everyone has a story, but our next guest has one that's both horrifying and heartbreaking. Horrifying and heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for Dee Dee's family. It was absolutely heartbreaking, literally, for Dee Dee. Heartbreaking for Nick Godejohn and his family, okay, because he was preyed upon. And then his little brother was just, had his whole life ripped apart. Then Nick Godejohn's mother, she's no longer with us. So Gypsy has just ripped apart lives in every way possible. Now, if you have not seen the video she made for Nick Godejohn, where she walks through the house, goes to the mother's bed, stands over the mother's bed, says this is where she is, and then makes stabbing motions, you don't know Gypsy. You're knowing a fake persona, okay? And that's what she is. Fake, con artist. She learned that from an early age. She's benefited from that lifestyle of life from an early age, and she's still conning. And this is all my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I see what she's doing. I see right through her, and I am allowed to say what I see, and this is what I see. So let's go on. They think that, she's had this horrible life, okay? Yeah? I don't think so. So horrifying and heartbreaking, yeah, it's not for Gypsy. Gypsy is the cause of people being horrified and for hearts breaking. So then they said that Gypsy went to prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. Yeah, she got a sweetheart. Let's not forget that. Plea deal. Sweetheart of a plea deal. Okay, throughout her childhood and beyond, they go on and say that Gypsy's mother would tell people her daughter suffered from a string of illnesses and disorders, going so far as to do things that included making her use a wheelchair, a feeding tube. Okay, this is not true. Okay, the wheelchair, yes, Dee Dee wanted her to use the wheelchair in public. She did not use the wheelchair behind closed doors. That is why she had normal muscle tone. That is why. Okay, that even the doctor that testified said her lower body, her muscles, were not atrophied the way that somebody that could not walk and was sitting in a wheelchair would be. So we know she walked. The wheelchair was a prop. The feeding tube, she had failure to thrive. And she also had a chromosome deletion disorder, syndrome, whatever you want to call it. And the few procedures that she had were necessary. Yes, they were. The unnecessary surgeries, she didn't have them. That was all lies. That was all lies that they used in their con. And she has continued them throughout. Now, there's a reason why Christy said, oh my gosh, why won't these doctors, people said, why can't you sue these doctors that did her wrong, that did these surgeries without checking and all this stuff? And Gypsy has said it, that they don't want to take her case, and Christy, her stepmother, has said it. And do you know why that is? Because there's no unnecessary surgeries, there's no medical negligence or anything like that. This is something that they have said. It doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Then these two ladies over here said that she had to take medications she didn't need, years of physical, mental, and medical abuse. No, ladies, that's a lie, and Gypsy's lying to you, okay? Led to Gypsy convincing a man. See, this is crazy. These two women said something that didn't even happen, led to Gypsy convincing a man she met online to kill her mother. Ladies, get a grip. This young lady right here was sex crazed. She was a sex crazed 23-year-old woman. Sex crazed, almost ready to turn 24. She wanted to get with every man she could, okay? She didn't want her mother interfering. She didn't want to be told, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be going all over town. She didn't want to be told. She wanted to be on the internet, hook up, run off to guys' houses, talk about BDSM. Did she tell you that, ladies? That she introduced all these men to BDSM, but then pretended she didn't know what it was? Did she tell you about the red wig she put on? Did she tell you that she walked around her house and made a tape? Made a recording for Nicholas Godejohn? Did she tell you about her texts and her behavior that scared him so badly and how unhinged she was? Did she tell you that she asked him if it'd be okay if she hooked up with somebody before they left town? Did she tell you that her mother's last words were, "Gypsy, please don't hurt me"? Did she tell you that she told Nicholas Godejohn, "My mother's all ready, she's taking her medication," when her mother had no medication in her body? Did she tell you that, ladies? I don't think so. Okay, so then they say she served 7 years. No, she served 8.5 years, okay, of her 10-year sentence. She was released last December. You guys can't even get the littlest facts right. And she doesn't even correct you, which is interesting. In her new memoir, Gypsy tells her story, and she adds details that have never been heard before. Who cares? They're all lies. She lies every minute. She's a liar. You want to read a book of lies? You want to pay good money to read a book of lies? Please. So she says, you're pregnant, by the way, so congratulations, and you're having a little girl. And Gypsy says, yes. And they say, do you have a name yet? And she says, we haven't picked out a name yet, but we have lots of options. Okay. Really, Gypsy? I thought maybe you'd only have 2 names that you're allowed to pick from. Lots of options. Okay, so then they tell her, it's interesting, right, when you're in the process of becoming a parent, how you will find how that will change you as a person. And going through the experience you've gone to, how do you think you're prepared to step into that role? Oh, ladies, you're asking Gypsy if she's prepared for motherhood? Well, let me tell you something. Gypsy said just weeks before she announced her pregnancy that she was not ready for motherhood, that she still had a lot to work on herself, and she couldn't do that with a child. But then, you see, when she left her husband, the one she married when she was in prison, to get out, to go to his house and not to Christy and Rod's, and then when she hooked up again with Ken, wanted to get out of that, right? Then she had to trap Ken. So this is all my opinion, allegedly, right? And then she got herself pregnant. Yeah. Okay. Tell her that? No, doubt it. I have a wonderful support system. I have wonderful family and friends who support me through this journey, so I have a lot of feedback from them. They're supporting you through this journey because you're a freaking cash cow. That's why they're supporting you. You're a cash cow. They're all benefiting monetarily from you, Gypsy. Okay? They're all benefiting. They're getting their houses remodeled. They're getting new cars. They're getting their 15 minutes in the spotlight that they crave. You're a cash cow, girl. That's why they're supporting you. Get a grip. I have lots of feedback from them, so that helps me a lot. And they said, and your story's been well documented, and a lot of people have been following your journey. Yeah, her story has been well documented, ladies. And if you had taken 5 minutes to look at it, if you watch her interrogation, if you'd gone through discovery documents, if you watched Nicholas's Godejohn's trial, if you watched his interrogation, if you watched his mother's interrogation, if you watched his stepfather's interrogation, you would know she's conning you. Okay? And everything that happened. But what do you want people to know and take away from this memoir? Well, I'll tell you what she wants people to know and take away. Her narrative. A false narrative. Okay, that's what she wants you to take away from it. A false narrative that she and her family are trying to create because she's a cash cow. But Gypsy answers, I really just want them to read this memoir and realize that it doesn't matter what you've been through in your life. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and good things still can happen for you, regardless of the horrors that you may have experienced in your life, because I think everyone relates to trauma in some form or fashion. Now, it's obvious she's been coached. It's obvious she's been coached. That trauma, everyone relates to trauma in some form or fashion. Okay, where's the light at the end of the tunnel for Dee Dee and her family? Dee Dee might have walked into the light, but she did so on somebody else's timeline because Gypsy wanted her gone. Her life ended at 48 years old, right? Nicholas Godejohn, what light is his? What light is his, Gypsy? You don't care. You don't give a damn. You don't. You took advantage of him. You manipulated him. You made him do your dirty deeds that you choreographed for him. You made a video for him. You pushed him in every way to do it. He didn't want to do it. He gave you other options. No. It's the only way. Right? The only way. And then you made sure that he got caught. You didn't figure you were going to get caught. But then they did you a dirty plea deal, right? Because it was an election year. And that's when they came up with Munchausen's by proxy. Munchausen's by proxy was never a deal until your stepmother, your dad, and your defense lawyer came up with it. You never said a thing about it in your interrogation. Never. Okay. Well, for about 23 years of your life or so, it was basically, you could describe it as a nightmare, right? How were you able to move on or move forward? Do you think about the past? Do you think about your mother? You describe your life as a nightmare? I'm in Cinderella's castle. I'm eating the royal mashed potatoes. I'm meeting Miranda Lambert. I'm staying in Disney for 4 weeks at a time. I'm going whale watching. They're flying me on private planes. Right? They're building us a new house. A nightmare? Were you living outside in a box? Was your mother beating you every day? You weren't living a nightmare. Do you think about your mother? She says, I mean, of course, I'm in extensive therapy. You're in extensive therapy now? Why did you refuse it all throughout prison? Why did you refuse it throughout prison when you should have been in it? And I worked through my past by going through that therapy, and it's going to be a long journey. Yeah, It's going to be a long journey? Okay. It's nothing that I will be able to get over in one day. Really, no one whose life you destroyed can get over it in one day. Your mother's gone. Nick's whole life is ruined. You've ruined his whole family's life. Everything you touch. It's just disgusting. And you just sit there and you act like you're some big influencer victim. You're going to do some great stuff, right, Gypsy? So it's going to be a lifelong healing process for me. Right, you want to be a perpetual victim. Isn't that what it is? Because you don't want to be the murderer that you are, right? You got mad at somebody on The View who called you that. All right? We know that already. And they say you want to be an influence for change. An influence for change. No, you don't. Did you tell them that you gave up on that? See, she lies so much. You didn't tell them you gave up on it, right, Gypsy? Nope, Gypsy didn't tell them that. She forgot, conveniently forgot. Gypsy gave up on that after she met Kim Kardashian, and she was going to speak out for her friend. So is that Amanda Bird? And you did one thing, and then you said, "Oh, guys, I'm getting blasted for stuff, so I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to do my get ready with me's and that." Why don't you tell these ladies that? Why are you such a liar, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Now tell me why you're such a liar. Come and do an interview with me and tell me why you're such a liar. You wouldn't sit down for 2 minutes with me. I know you wouldn't, because I don't believe your crap. And can you talk about that? What do you mean? And did the experience in prison highlight the fact that you want to be an influence for change? No, ladies, because in prison, Gypsy didn't do therapy. She was too busy trying to hook up with guys, okay? Do you people know this or not? She probably had more action in prison with guys than a lot of you did on the outside. That was her sex-crazed self, okay? Planning her guy time. Oh, and yes, she was doing some experimenting behind bars, too. Yeah, that's what she was doing. You ladies are clueless. She said, absolutely, I feel like there is a lot of positive change that could happen if given the ability. Right, but you're not giving it to them, right? You're not doing it. Positive change could happen, but you're not interested in doing the work because you got blasted, and that's how easily you give up, right? And so I think there's a lot of things in our justice system that need to be addressed. Like what? You make a blanket statement like that and you don't make any specific or give any specific details? Really, Gypsy? So I am an advocate for prison reform. Really? Because you met with Kim Kardashian once? You're not an advocate for prison reform. You're not an advocate for anything, Gypsy. But also for abuse victims. Really? What abuse victims are you an advocate for? Tell me. Tell me. Munchausen's by proxy that you didn't have? She says, I feel like I was in a situation where I didn't know there were resources. You are such a liar, Gypsy. You are such a liar because DFS even came to your house. You are such a liar. You were on the internet every night when your mother went to bed. You knew there were resources. You weren't being abused. You were not being abused. You are participating in a con with your mother. You were 23 years old, and you were grooming a man on the internet to kill your mother. Okay. I didn't know there were resources to help children. See, and you weren't a child, Gypsy Rose. You were 23 going on 24 years old that next month. You weren't a freaking child. And you know victims of abuse in my situation. And so but see, in what situation? Working con jobs with their parents? Because you can't be talking about Munchausen's by proxy because you were not a victim of that. And so I think that there needs to be advocated more those resources. And that's because you say in and out of prison, your platform you're using right now to spread that message that there needs to be change and there's hope, as you were mentioning. No, she doesn't, ladies. No, she doesn't. Have you ever spent any time listening to her? This one over here, she knows she effed up. You done effed up, okay? You know you did. You're getting a lot of blasting. This one over here, she's like, well, I didn't know. I thought I just went with the People magazine said she was a victim. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's see where she is. So they ask her, what did she learn in terms of finding resources what were available? Talk about your time in prison and the learning aspect you went through. See, she didn't go through a learning aspect, ladies, because she did not even take the therapy that was offered for her. No, she didn't. Okay? And it shows. Of course, I mean, there are resources that are within the prison system, but you didn't get them. But getting those resources are actually quite difficult. No, they're not, Gypsy. No, they're not. You refuse them. And so I think there needs to be very, very specific things that are laid out, because it's very difficult for incarcerated individuals to get the extensive mental health therapy they would require. You're a liar. You denied it. You're a liar, Gypsy. So there needs to be more advocacy on that. Yeah, are you doing it? No. Why? Oh, that requires work. Then they say you talked about something you hadn't mentioned until recently, how you were actually addicted to painkillers, correct? Correct. That was something that many people didn't know. And then they asked her, they were wondering at the time of the murder of her mother, was she under the influence of the painkillers? Were you high? Did that influence what occurred that night? And she says, you know, I was during that week abusing painkillers. However, that was not something that affected my mental state at that time. Interesting. You know, it's fascinating. They said that it's fascinating. For so many years you went along with this fabricated story, right? Yeah, now you're getting it. She went along with it because she benefited from it, okay? She benefited from it. Right, and I guess I have a hard time understanding how when you would go visit doctors, because you did extensively, how those doctors were unable to see the truth that you could actually walk. They're saying that you didn't need a feeding tube, that you didn't need drugs you were given. I mean, it's baffling to me. How was someone out there not saying, wait a minute, she doesn't need any of this stuff. This is all a lie. And so what does Gypsy do? What does Gypsy do? What she's famous for, throwing other people under the bus, just like Nick Go to John, everything. I know the level of deception that my mother had over these doctors. You know that level of deception because you live it every day. You deceive people every single day on the deepest levels. Again, it's all my opinion, my thoughts on Gypsy Rose as an observer of her behavior on public platforms. So she says that my mother had over these doctors was so extensive and so severe that these doctors would ignore test results coming back normal and things like this. Things that should have been red flags, and unfortunately, I was one of the individuals of many that fell through the cracks. Good one, Gypsy. They say, so do you find these doctors in any way responsible for carrying on and allowing your mother then in a way to carry on this lie? She says, you know, I kind of chalk that up to human error. I think we all want to believe the good in people. Yeah, you know that nobody would take your case because they don't believe your mother had Munchausen's by proxy and you didn't have the things you mentioned. Yet you still say you had chemotherapy, even after prison, right? You still say that. That ruined your teeth, the chemo. That you didn't have because you didn't have cancer. You can't even remember your lies because that's exactly how people know you lie, because you can't remember lies. They're not the truth. So let's see. I think we all want to believe the good in people, she said. So, I struggle with that. It is something that, yes, I do feel they should be held accountable in ways. In other ways, I feel like it was misjudgment on their part. You already found they can't be held accountable because it's not the way it goes. It's not the way it went down. Do you think there needs to be reform in the medical health care system? You, the most since being out of prison, in terms of helping rehabilitate your life? Of course, Gypsy says, I think that there should be more red tape within the medical system. I think that it should be a requirement for doctors to take a certain course while going through medical school on Munchausen's by proxy syndrome. Oh my goodness, Gypsy. Now you know what the doctors are taking and they're not taking in their studies, right? And you are going to dictate what they should take and take Munchausen's by proxy syndrome. Why? You didn't suffer. You did not suffer by Munchausen's by proxy. Your mother didn't have it. Stop lying. And I think that there needs to be more advocacy and more awareness. Munchausen's by proxy syndrome. And yes, I have an amazing support system that gets me through all of this. Through all of what? Through all of you trying to push your false narrative because you're a cash cow to them? Yeah, they're helping you, all right. I've been out of prison for 10 months, and so far it's been a very eventful 10 months, hasn't it been? And you thrive in that kind. You thrive in that chaos. Nobody else does. You ruin one life after another. So the support system that I have has been my inspiration for continuing to push on and go beyond my means of just being an average person. You see? Just being an average person. She's a celebrity, guys. She's not an average person. No, you're not an average person. You know what you are? You're a murderer. You're a plotter. You're a planner. You're a premeditated, a cold, calculating, premeditated murderer who made a video and abused, manipulated, dominated man with diminished mental capacity, with autism, and you convinced him through deception, through lies, to murder your mother. That's who you are, Gypsy. That's who you are. You're not an average person. You're a murderer. You're not a celebrity. You're not a star. You're a cash cow. And hopefully can move on into being a voice for change. You're not going to, Gypsy. It hasn't even been a year, but once you came out, you have a huge social media following, they said. So I think you know that's something difficult to adjust to, even if you didn't have everything that you've had in your life. That's for sure. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate that. And they can pick up your memoir. It'll hit shelves in December. Aww. Okay. All right, let me go back to this. Garbage. Okay, so let's see this garbage here. Exactly, cold-blooded killer. Agreed. Hey, video reel. So yeah, if you were anywhere near the craziness that I was listening to that. That was just horrendous. What do you think about that? And, you know, people are contacting. They're leaving comments like crazy on their YouTube channel where they have that. They're going to their websites. They're writing to these stations. They're trying to wake up the mainstream media that they need to go and get the facts, watch the interviews, watch the interrogations, learn the facts of this case, stop celebrating a murderer, stop trying to make a murderer somebody that kids should be looking up to, because it's all wrong. Thank you, Carolyn, for doing this. 100%. I can't do any of these Gypsy streams. You're correct. Drooping Delight. How she's making money with a book, making money off her crime. They're all making money off her crime. They are all making money off her crime. She's a cash cow to them. She thinks she has support. Ken came back to her because she was a cash cow, okay? And he was watching the cash cow and he was thinking, crikey, that could be my cash cow because I was the one that was engaged to her first. Now Ryan's getting the cash cow. I want the cash cow back. I want cash. I want money. So he went back to her. She knows. The reason she knows doesn't feel secure with him is because she knows he came back to her for the money. Christy, her stepmother, is in this for the money and for her 15 minutes. Before Gypsy was even out of prison, Christy was going on Ashley Banfield and other shows. She was posting on Facebook about this. Christy loves the spotlight. They've all benefited. Mia got a brand new car, okay? They all funneled money into other accounts. Christy and Rod had their house remodeled. They benefit from trips. Christy was out with her in California earlier. Do you understand? They're all benefiting. They benefited from the HBO special. They benefited from the Lifetime specials. They benefit from any of these things that they're doing. She's a cash cow. She thinks she has support. If she wasn't making money, watch how many people would be supporting her. Just watch. She's a cash cow. Didn't Christy ignore her when she was in prison? No, Christy was starting to go there. Did you remember all the pictures? Christy knew. Christy knew when she was going to get out that she was going to be a cash cow when they worked on that HBO thing for her defense. Okay? That was when the cash cow started. They sat there as a family and posed next to a poster in the theater for Mommy Dead and Dearest. They took a family picture. Gypsy was still in prison. They took a family picture. It's all about money. They're all laughing to the bank over this. Don't you see this? Everything they do, they're laughing. They created a narrative. They created a narrative that would make Gypsy look like a victim. When you watch Mommy Dead and Dearest, and you watch Rod and Christy's faces when they're with the defense attorney, and he mentions this Munchausen's by proxy, Rod gets the biggest duper's delight you've ever seen, and Christy is eating it up because now they know. Wait a minute. We don't have to say Rod's daughter's a murderer. Let's throw Dee Dee completely under the bus and say that Dee Dee had Munchausen's by proxy and poor Gypsy is a victim. Gypsy knew when the text messages came out. She knew. But they just try to sweep all that under the rug. And the people around her, like Ryan, has never watched the interrogations. Neither has Ken. They have their head in the sand. They haven't watched the interrogations. They just say Nick Godejohn was the guy. Nick Godejohn did this. Nick Godejohn manipulated her. Nick Godejohn abused her. That's their narrative. And if you say anything differently, they walk around, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. That's what they do. And mainstream media is doing the same thing. Those ladies on Fox 11, they didn't do an iota of research. They didn't watch the interrogation. Gypsy has never sat down with an interview with somebody that had asked her the real stuff. With somebody that's going to say, hey, wait a minute. Why are you still saying that your teeth are messed up from chemo when you're out of prison? When you said that you found out for the first time from your lawyer that you were sick and you didn't have cancer. So why are you still saying that when you're out of prison 8.5 years later? Why are you still going with that lie? No, they're not going to ask her that. They didn't ask her why she made a video standing over her bed with stabbing motions. They won't ask her that. Why she asked Nick not to wear gloves. They're not going to answer that. Why she lied about who introduced all these guys to BDSM. They're not going to ask her that. They're not going to ask her any of the real stuff, right? Who do I get a hold of? How do I help? I didn't even know about any of this until I've seen your stream about this case. Long ago I said, what? She was... My friend knew her from Thunder Bay. Your friend knew her from Thunder Bay? Well, did you watch her interrogation there, Canadian? First thing I would do is watch her interrogation. We have it on this channel. You should seriously put down an invite. Oh, she won't come here. She won't come here. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat questions for her and tell her she's a victim. And I'm not going to tell her that she's doing great things. And tell me, what are you doing? So I see you're pregnant. Do you have baby names? You knew her, Canadian? How did you know her? Hold on a minute. I have to make this a little bit larger because I can't see. Can't see. Okay. I knew her. You're Pokeroo. Okay, Pokeroo. So, Pokeroo, how do you know who? You know... Who do you know, Pokeroo? Tell me. You want to call in? It's easier than doing this chat. You want to call in, Pokeroo? Near Minnesota. Okay. So you call in, do me a favor, just you know my email, right? Send me an email, and I'll open up the Zoom. You told me that last year? You heard that they shut off the comments on her video because they were all negative. The only positive one comes from her bots. She wears that as a badge of honor, that tattoo. She's proud of the murder. Hey, Christine Micro. Okay, so Pokeroo, send me a email and I'll send you a number. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, do I have to... Okay, you don't need earbuds. You don't need earbuds and you don't need to appear on video, okay? You've been on here before when we did the blankets with Sandra Rusak. You came up then, remember? Same thing. You don't have to appear on camera. After seeing the stabbing video, I think she's dangerous. She is dangerous. She's very dangerous. I'm very scared of her having a baby. I've also heard that she may have purchased a house. And I question if that's why she still has like her crib in a cardboard box and not set up. Yeah, you're knitting, I know. It's really nuts. And she thinks she has all this support. Tell you what she has. She has people that like her because she's a cash cow. They like her because she's a cash cow. I done in the summer time in kitchen being okay, no problem. I'll wait for you. Hi, Alice. A baby in her care. It's going to be so dangerous. I'm concerned already. I think Christy's going to take that child. I think Christy's going to take that child for a number of reasons. I think it's more that she could talk about, more that she can be in front of cameras about. The stabbing video, Duping Delight, she made, along with the text messages to Nick Godejohn, telling him what to do, telling him how to do it. She made a video. She made a video walking through the house from the door so that you would see, when you come in, you're going to go down the hallway to her bedroom. She stood over her mother's bed and she said she's going to be right here. And she went like that. She is the one that shoplifted the knife to kill her mother. Her mother would not be dead if it wasn't for Gypsy. She orchestrated everything. It is shocking. And do you think any of these people in People magazine talking about her great romantic trip to San Francisco, did it look like Ken was enjoying himself? Ken looked like he was contemplating maybe going on that bridge and doing something, okay? Ken looked miserable. He looked miserable. Because you know what? As much as people think money can buy happiness, and they want to get in on this money, no, it doesn't buy you out of a horrible situation. It doesn't buy you out of being with somebody you don't want to be with. It doesn't fix that stuff. It doesn't fix that. It doesn't fix having to sleep with one eye open. Hi, Christine. You see most, but you missed that. Okay, you sent you're getting the email. Okay, good. It's nuts. Nuts. I mean, she is delusional. And when they go to leave her, when Ken goes to leave her, better watch out is all I have to say. She has her sights set on somebody much better than Ken. Ken's Mr. Right Now. She believes, okay, that she should be living next to Kim Kardashian. That's what she believes. And that Kim Kardashian is going to introduce her to someone. And she'd have no qualms whatsoever. You saw the way she left that dog. I don't think she'd have one qualm leaving that baby. Because I do believe she is a true psychopath. They don't have a conscience. They don't have empathy. They don't even have love for their kids. They don't even know how to feel. They don't. Read about psychopaths. It's the scariest thing you'll ever read. Because they can't even love their own children. They can't. They're incapable. They can't feel those emotions. That's why she just... Even her own kids, I don't think would be any different. And she'll just say, oh, you know what? The baby was better off with Ken. I have to be out here next to Kim Kardashian, and I'm working on this thing. She would love that if they would get her somebody out there. Hold on, I'm going to get you that. Hang on. So I just have to start a new Zoom. Hang on. Because I have to put this on here. Don't be scared. I'm starting a new Zoom. Sorry, people in the old Zoom. Okay, hang on, Pokeroo. I'm going to send you it now, Pokeroo, Pokeroo. Oh, let's see. You sent me an email, you said, right? It's Pokeroo. I got you. Okay. All right. So there we go. We'll wait for Pokeroo. She still can't live with Ken until June. Oh yes, and I know it's just so hard. It's so hard. Don't you have your violin out? Get your violin out for her, Christine, because it's just so difficult. How can she cultivate a relationship when she's not even allowed to live with him? Well, that's because you were married when you got out of prison, okay? And you were supposed to be living with Ryan. And you have a stepmother that says, no one can blame you. You tried. Wow. You tried for 6 weeks. You tried for 8 weeks. I don't know. Nutso stuff. She's lazy as hell. How's she going to take care of her baby? Well, I assume she believes she'll have money for a nanny. I'm sure she'll have somebody. If she doesn't have Christy doing everything for her, she'll get a nanny. Okay? While they're still pouring in that money to that cash cow. But what happens when the money dries up? Hi, Oliver. It's ridiculous. Yeah, postpartum and all that. I mean, but I don't think she's ever going to be left alone with the baby, Kevin. I really don't. I don't think she's going to be. I don't think she's capable. It's like she doesn't even. This is like really about like sociopath, psychopath stuff. She doesn't even feel connected to this baby, except when she tries to be. She doesn't. It's not that the reason we feel like something's off is because it's off. Read about sociopaths and psychopaths. There's one. I should get what I want to read you something. I do want to read you something because it's like very profound and it really lets you understand about a sociopath or a psychopath. It really does. I'm gonna get it when as soon as I get Pokeroo up here. I'm gonna get it for 1 second. But I think you'll understand. Okay, now I am just to be safey. Just to be safe. I'm just gonna move this over here just to be safe. We make sure we have Pokeroo. Don't worry, I'm over here. I'm just on another screen. Pokeroo. Pokeroo. Where are you? We got some things to do now. Pokeroo, where are you? You're joining. You're still joining, it says Pokeroo. You can count on me, Pokeroo. All right, let me put something up there so people don't think we're like not here. I'm going to put that over there just so I can. Okay, here comes Pokeroo again. Now we've got 2 Pokeroos. Pokeroo. I'm admitting you, Pokeroo, but I don't see. Oh, there we go. There's Pokeroo. Is that you? Uh-oh, Pokeroo. Uh-oh, we lost our Pokeroo. You were almost there. Okay, let's try it again. Pokeroo?
Yeah,
Okay.
it keeps asking me the same things over
Okay.
and over.
Okay.
Like 10 times now it's asked
I
me.
think you're in now. Okay. All right. Just
Oh, okay.
all right.
That's good.
That's good. So tell us
Can I
what's.
take my picture off of my ceiling?
Yeah, you could shut your camera if you want it. It's fine.
How do you do that?
Just
I don't know.
see the little video camera on the bottom.
No, there's no. Oh, now I see something.
If you
Oh,
click
yeah.
the video camera, there you got it
I
off.
forget it's been so long.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so
Since I was doing the finger knitting with you, I haven't done no stuff like that.
oh,
So
okay. Well, glad you called in. So tell me, who is it that you know?
I knew Dee Dee
Oh, you knew Dee Dee.
back in the day. Yeah, many years ago, long before I did YouTube and like came around here, like since I've been here, like with you guys on YouTube.
How'd you know?
Yeah,
How
a
did you
lot
know
of
Dee
years.
Dee?
I knew her. I met her in Thunder Bay, and I don't understand any of the stuff that's been out on the reports and stuff, because that's not like her. She was not a horrible person.
Did you know her when she had Gypsy?
I don't even know if she had kids or not or whatever,
What
but
is
I
Thunder?
imagine
What's
so,
Thunder
because it
Bay?
was about, I was in Thunder Bay, about, like, I was there a lot of years, but when I met her was about 2000 and maybe four, 2000, no, maybe not even that, 2000, 2003 or four, or somewhere in there. I don't know exactly when, but there was a lot of very suspicious things she was doing. I thought it was just she was ripping off, like doing some kind of scam with disability. Because she was going to the States and coming back to Canada, going to the States, coming back, because we're close to Minnesota up there. I know she's going to Minnesota. She's going to the States and then coming back. She was so nice. She was the nicest person. If you ever wanted, like, I had a lot of best friends through life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever wanted a best friend, I mean, my God, I only just met her the one day when I first met her. And it was only a couple days after. She's helping me. She was helping me dig out all my gardens, and the previous owner of the house had these trees and bushes that, you know how hard they are to get those bushes out and evergreen shit and that. She was digging them all out for me and helping me so much. She was very nice. She's nice and didn't want nothing in return or anything. I found it a little odd at first, but I thought, oh, maybe she, she's gay or, looking for someone. And I thought, no, she's looking for a friend. And we were just very good friends for a while. She was doing all kinds of stuff, but she was always gone and very mysterious. And I had her cell number, but like that's when cell phones weren't so, you know, we were back in a flip phone kind of era back then. But
Mm-hmm.
I was always up on technology, and um, she just would come and go, come and go. Didn't see her often.
Okay,
Um,
but I'm confused because like
it
Gypsy
was
would have been
very
born.
odd. I know she went to the States. She did say she was going to the States, back and forth from the States to Canada. So I thought she was collecting a disability check here. That's what I thought her thing was, right? Getting disability here and then getting something in the States. That's what I thought she was doing. I'm not sure if she had a kid yet. Maybe she had a kid. I guess obviously
Well,
she did.
Gypsy
Or
was
where
born
did she
in
get this kid from? Or I don't know. Weird.
she was born in '91.
Mhm. Same year as my son. So at that time, and she was there for my son's birthday party and everything. And I think I'm trying to think back. I think Michael's birthday party back then was he was 8.
Do you have any pictures?
No, no. Michael was about 10, so her daughter would have been 10. No, I don't have any pictures. I don't know if, and the only person that would have had pictures that I know John did, he's deceased now. He died. Poor John.
Who's that?
He was who was taking pictures all that day. I know he's dead. John, my friend John, my best friend John.
Oh.
He took pictures that day, yeah. Dee Dee was there helping and everything. Oh, she was the best friend you could ever met. I didn't see her very often, and I knew she was traveling back and forth. I thought she was scamming disability. That's what came down to it to me. What I figured out, like in my own head, it was easy to figure that out. Because she was coming here, getting her check, end of the month. She said, and yeah, I got to go over to the States, get my other check at the end of the month. And I didn't know what was going on the other side of the border. I don't know, and I didn't know if she had a kid. When all this came out, and I seen that on one of your streams, I just seen I was flipping through my homepage one weekend. I don't come to YouTube often. I do now, but before then, and I was scrolling through, I seen that, and I went, that looks like Dee Dee's picture. And what? I didn't know it was such big news at the time. I didn't know what was going on. And it was on your stream, and I seen Dee Dee's picture. That's my friend, Dee Dee. I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, it was from a long time ago, yeah. The picture you showed with the curly hair like that.
Right, yeah.
Curls like that. That was from about, I would say, 2000 and, early 2000s, whatever, when she had the curly hair like that. And I'm telling you, she was a very, very good friend. Like, she would come over, do what you wanted and everything. Very mysterious, though. And that was the part, it was very obvious that, because, like, I had her cell number and that, but she's, but I'm going out tomorrow. I gotta go to the States. I gotta go do some stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I think, okay, she's collecting disability checks in 2 countries. That's what she's doing. That's what I thought. I didn't know any of this other stuff.
I see, but I don't understand how that could
I can't
be.
see her being abusive at any kind. She was so kind. I mean, over kindness. I mean, really kind. I can't see her being ever abusive or hurting anybody or anything. Or I can never see that in her. No. And I know her. I'm not saying well. I know everybody has, like, people have different personalities. One they show to the public and one they show to, public and private. I know that. I get it.
But I never heard of her going into Canada. That's just strange because she's in.
Yeah. Yeah. She's there a lot in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Yes.
Because they lived in Missouri.
Yeah. I don't know. I know she went to Minnesota a lot, and that's when she said, she always kept saying she had to go back to the States a lot, go back to the States. She's gone
But
a lot.
I mean, was Gypsy in a wheelchair and
I
stuff?
was wondering why she came here. I didn't even know she had Gypsy, so I never seen a Gypsy. I didn't see no wheelchair, no Gypsy, no, didn't know about no daughter, no nothing. No, she's by herself when she came here to Thunder Bay. She's by herself. I think collecting disability checks. That's what I think. I don't know. But very kind person, though. She didn't stay long. But often. She didn't stay long, but often. Always end of the month. I thought, she's collecting checks here. And going back and forth from here because she was a dual citizen or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's the first I've ever heard of anything like that. I mean,
Do you know if she was a dual citizen?
I never even heard that she ever went to Canada. Never.
Yeah, she was in Thunder Bay.
You sure it's at Dee Dee Blanchard?
Oh yeah, it's Dee Dee. I told you about that like over a year ago. or 2 years ago or whatever this broke out on your channel. I talked to you about that day. I know it's Dee Dee. That's Dee Dee. My son knows. My son like, oh my God, there's Dee Dee. What's Dee Dee? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, and I don't even follow it or participate in none of the stuff. So I have known nothing here in stating this. I don't even follow none of it because I don't even care.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
I think half of it's bullshit. But and this thing with her daughter, I feel really bad for her daughter if she put her through
No, she didn't. Don't
all
believe
that
her
stuff.
daughter. I'm telling you, they conned together. They conned together. They went to Disney. They
Yeah,
spent weeks and weeks
I
in
think
Disney.
that too. I seen what you said, and I agree with that too. I really agree with that because I know what
Gypsy
a
was
good.
23 years old, and she knew she was 23 years old. Gypsy is, I'm telling you, she is a sociopath. She did this
I
with
know
her
what a
mother.
good
Yeah,
person her
maybe her
mother
mother
is.
got her started around it, but it's just she
Yeah.
knew there was other ways out. She didn't have to
I
kill her
know what
mother.
a good person Dee Dee was. I'm telling you, if you knew her, she has the biggest heart on the whole planet. I just couldn't imagine her being involved in this kind of stuff. It just blew me away. It broke my heart and blew me away. And I thought, no way. What is this? Is this just fake that people are making up or something or what? Because how would Dee Dee do that? She's got the biggest heart on in the whole world. I mean,
Did Dee
God.
Dee ever talk to you about her family?
No, she never talked about family stuff or nothing. No, none of that stuff. No, she didn't talk about much stuff. She's enjoyed herself and come and she did my son's birthday party. We did like all the kids' food and stuff together and stuff. She dug out like, oh my God, she did all my stuff for my dug everything out for me to replant all my gardens and everything. It was like, 'cause she's big and strong, right? I was just tiny. I was like 105 pounds. I'm like really tiny person. And she's very big. She's very big. You can't mistake her. And so that's why I'm telling you, I didn't mistake her. That's Dee Dee. That's my Dee Dee. That's my son's friend Dee Dee. And he loved her too. And it's great. Well, he's 33 now, but he was like oh, 12 at the time or whatever.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I
It's
mean,
crazy.
yeah,
I
it'd
can't
be
believe that.
interesting if she went to Canada, but I've never heard that.
Yes, in Thunder Bay all the time. So I thought she was getting a check there, like a disability check, 'cause she did live there. She had dual citizenship. She said she pretty much made it clear to me, like that's what she was doing, was getting a check there. At the time, for some reason, she was getting a check, disability check, and then going over the border because that's where she lived. So
When
I don't know if she got a disability check over the border or only the one in Canada at the time. I don't know. Or was
did
she just
did
transitioning?
did she ever mention Rod Blanchard?
No. She never mentioned any people in her life or anything. No. She just hung out with me. She hung out at a certain place, um, a certain by the yacht club. She used to hang out down there. That's how I met her down there
Right.
at a bar there. And I thought, well, maybe, I even thought maybe she was gay or something because she took a liking to me. But no, she was just a very good friend and very good. And she never came on to me or anything. So she wasn't, even if she was gay, she didn't come on to me, no. But she was very, very helpful. That's all I can say.
When's the
That
last time you saw her?
was that was went on for about a year. So 2000 and I don't know, 2004, 2005, maybe around there, for about a good year. She's coming around stuff and everything, and then I moved from there. So, but I had her cell phone number and stuff. But lost it. I didn't call her no more. Nothing. Um,
Well,
about
you knew she was
2000.
originally from down south?
I thought she was originally from Thunder Bay and was going back and forth to the States and back. I thought she was originally from there, but it could have been vice versa, right? You know, could have been vice versa. I don't know. But she was going there. I know she said a lot about Minnesota, like Minnesota. She's going from Thunder Bay, Minnesota, and somewhere else in the States. I don't know.
Huh, interesting.
And she made it clear when she said, "Oh, I gotta go." It's like this, wink, wink. It's like I knew she. I had an idea. I didn't know because how would I know? I'm not police, but I had an idea thinking she was scamming disability, like in both countries. You know,
I don't
that's
know.
what I was thinking.
I don't know. I've never heard of her
That's what I was thinking. But
going to Canada.
I didn't know about any children, and I would never ever in my lifetime, knowing how she is as a person, she would never like abuse a child. Never. No, no, no. She
Right.
would not abuse a child, I don't think, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I
I don't
never
think
heard.
she would. But that's only my opinion, right? I don't
Well,
know
she really
much
wasn't
about her.
abusing Gypsy. Like, I mean, yes, because it was a con job, but she treated her very well, and she did everything she did for Gypsy. Like, she put herself on the back burner, and went to Disney and got these things, and got Gypsy everything,
Yeah.
and put her whole life on the back burner.
And I'm not following any of this stuff with Gypsy since you got it, because I know a lot of people are, and it's a real big, big thing, and I'm staying away from it. But if she's making herself like a celebrity kind of thing,
Oh
from what I
yeah, she thinks
know.
she's a big celebrity, and her whole family thinks she's
Why?
a
Why is
cash
that
cow.
even possible? Why? Wouldn't you be so sad that that happened and that happened with your
She's
mother
not. She's
gone?
not. She feels like she.
I
She
can't
feels
believe
like they
this.
all they all feel that they played the system. They got one over on everyone, and now she's a celebrity, and they're all
Her
going to
mother is such
benefit
a
from it.
good person.
Every single person in Gypsy's life is benefiting from this.
Oh my God. It's horrible.
So, it's
That's horrible.
new cars, renovated houses, trips,
Seriously? Oh my God.
vacations. Oh yeah. They're all laughing all the way to the freaking bank.
I hope there's some way like somebody could sue them for some
And
kind
and,
of
and
shit.
meanwhile,
That's horrible.
Dee Dee's family, right? They want to sue her for
And can
wrongful
they
death.
not do the civil
They
suit?
they can,
All
but
the civil suit.
listen what Gypsy did. Gypsy put something in there where she said that the grandfather abused her, and the
Oh, come
family's
on.
afraid now that
Oh, for
Gypsy,
God.
if they go after Gypsy, Gypsy's going to say all this awful stuff, and their father is like way up there in years. And they don't want him having
Oh,
to
my.
live out his last days with that crap.
Oh, for God's sake. They got it. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
That's awful.
Yep, she's living her
That-
best life. She said she's living her best
Isn't
life.
that horrible?
You're never going
Oh
to
my
bring
God.
her
Didn't
down.
people not see through this kind
Yep,
of shit?
they don't. And
Don't
the
anybody
the
see this?
media is the worst. The media is the worst. People magazine, Fox News, all these people saying that she's a victim. She's
We
this.
know
She's that.
that, Carolyn. We know that.
Sick.
It's what sells. What sells, right?
Yeah.
We know that, Carolyn. It's what sells,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're going to say what sells.
Sure.
That's horrible. Oh my God. I'm telling you, she was a good person and she should not. I know she should have done some time and everything else and everything, but she should not be doing this, pulling this kind of crap.
No, she shouldn't be. I mean, she should be in prison. That's really where she belongs.
Be in prison right now.
She
Yeah.
orchestrated this entire thing. Dee Dee would still be
I can't
alive.
believe she's out right now. What the hell?
And not only is she out, it's like,
And no
where
psychiatric
they got her up
care,
on this
psychiatric
pedestal. Why don't they put
care.
Casey Anthony up there on that pedestal? Casey Anthony was
Yeah.
acquitted. Why don't they put her up there on the pedestal? That's what this
Yeah.
world is coming to. It's crazy.
Look at all these other people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What
Unbelievable.
the hell's going on? I
I,
know. That's crazy. I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
Oh my
It's
God.
disgusting. It's really disgusting. They're having to talk to colleges and
Everybody on
stuff.
this planet, I'm sorry
Who
that
wants?
everybody's
Yeah,
failing us.
it's horrible.
They're failing us. They're failing us.
Yeah, I know. It's gross. And it's like they don't even know. If they just watch the interrogation, that's all it would take. And they would see, if they would just go through the text messages and the interrogation, they would see 100% Gypsy is it's conning them. And she's a
Yeah, they would
champion.
do that.
She is a champion con woman. Okay? That's,
Oh,
she
no.
learned,
I
everything
believe.
from Dee
I
Dee.
believe.
She learned it.
Yeah,
They went
I
around.
believe that too. I believe it.
Okay, and I think Gypsy's a better
I
con
believe it
woman
so
than
much.
Dee Dee. I think
I
Gypsy
believe it.
is better. I think Gypsy is honed up
Yeah.
on what to do, and because she acts like she's
Oh,
this
yeah.
abuse victim, and oh,
Look what
it's
she got away with, and she got away with that. She
got away
thought,
with
well,
murder.
okay,
She got away
I
with
can
murder.
plan, I can plan better now that I'm on the outside, and I'm gonna do more. Amateur. See?
But what happens is like look at OJ. He got away with murder, and then he got caught on something stupid and got
I
sent.
wonder if there's anyone around their lives that could sue her.
Yeah, definitely.
For all
Dee
of
Dee's
this.
family can.
If there's someone, yes, if there's someone around there that could sue her
Dee Dee's
and
family
get
can,
her.
but like I
Yeah.
said, they're worried about she's covered her bases
Yeah.
by calling abuse out
We
on the
know how
grandfather.
civil goes. Yeah,
But
we
now
know
if
how
the
civil.
grandfather passes, and the grandfather's up there in years, but if the grandfather passes away, then Dee Dee's family is not going to worry. They'll sue her.
Mm.
They'll take a civil suit for wrongful
Yeah.
death because
Yeah,
they
we know
should.
how civil goes. Takes a while. It's a lot of crap for
And
civil, but
they should
it's
do it now.
worthwhile when you go through civil. It's worthwhile just for a meaningful sake, right?
Yeah, they should. They
Just
definitely
like
should do it.
with the Peters family, you know.
Yeah, they should do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even with
We
the stuff
know.
on the father, they should just do it. Um,
Mm-hmm. We know.
yeah, I know.
It's always best to do that if they can. Oh God, I hope they can do anything. I didn't know it was such a big thing. Then I see it's popping up everywhere, and everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, there's a whole big community about her and blah blah blah." It's like, oh my God, that's all they needed to do.
Yeah,
A whole community now on her. Oh great.
yeah. There's anti-communities too because a lot of people saw through her, but for some reason, Lifetime, of course, Lifetime, they're following the money. Okay, they don't want the truth; they want to follow the money.
Of course they are. Oh my God.
Okay, and
Of
it's just
course.
everybody's following the money, and she's just a huge cash cow, and they're gonna
Yeah.
grapple and
Yeah.
grab onto her and for everything that she's got, and then when the money goes down, they'll all
Yeah,
fly
they
away.
get their lows and then they, do whatever, commit suicide or ask or
Oh,
they
they'll
just
say, "Oh, I didn't
wander
know.
off.
I didn't know what she was really like. I thought
Yeah,
she
all that
changed."
fucking shit.
Yeah, right.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
hey, Sharon.
And they separate themselves very quickly. Yeah.
So,
Oh
yeah.
my God, I didn't know it was such a big thing.
Yeah,
You
it's a
know?
big case.
Someone said, "Oh yeah, there's big communities about her all over YouTube and here and there and TikTok." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God!"
Because you're
I guess
don't you?
really big on TikTok.
I normally see you at the in the trials, right? You watch the trials.
I watch the trials, yeah.
Yeah. So
Sometimes.
which one are you
No,
watching? What are you
not her
watching?
trial.
No, but what are you watching now? What are you going to watch? Sarah
Right
Boone?
now, oh Delphi, definitely. I
But
wanted to go there.
Delphi is not going to be
I
streamed.
know, I know. I wanted to go there so bad. I wanted to go physically go. I followed that since the day the girls went missing on Web Sleuth. I was on Web Sleuth on their web
Yeah.
in their Web Sleuth when they went missing. The day the girls went missing, and I have the original helicopter footage when they went around. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
But now
I
they
have
have
all that.
now they
I was
have
like, oh my God.
Simon, right? They have Leilani Simon.
Leilani's, yeah,
Simon.
the jury's picked for that. That starts
Next,
on Monday.
well, I don't think Monday. I think Tuesday because of the holiday.
Maybe Tuesday. It's only the holiday in Canada.
No, we have
Oh, you guys have a holiday
used to
too?
be, yeah.
Oh, I
Used to be,
didn't know that.
yeah, used to be Columbus Day. Now it's, I think,
We're
they call it.
celebrating our Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
I'll send
right.
you some. I'll send you some turkey and
Okay,
ham and
okay.
stuff.
But yeah. So then we have Sarah Boone too.
Oh, Sarah Boone. I haven't followed that. I've only just seen it in my feed. The woman that scares me. I just scroll on. I'm
And
scrolling
and
that.
then Delphi.
I
Them
haven't
they're
followed
they're
that.
all going to be. When does Delphi
The
start?
Delphi was big for me.
But
Okay, it was
when does that
very, very
start?
big for me. I want to
Delphi.
fly there. I want to go there actually, but
Well, I
I
told
don't know.
Scooter to go because she's not far from there.
She's not. I love Scooter.
Yeah,
I love her.
yeah. Me too.
Yeah, it's not far. I
Me
hope
too.
she. I
She's my sleeping partner. When
yeah.
she is when we go away, her and I we're rooming buddies.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah,
You guys have been going places lately?
yeah.
Oh,
We go to South Carolina every
sorry.
year. This
Oh,
will
I
be our
know
fourth.
that.
This will be
Down
our fourth.
there, I love that. I loved watching that.
It'll be
I
our
would
fourth
watch
year.
my own
We're gonna,
here in Canada when I was cold and
yeah,
freezing.
we're gonna start
Yeah,
planning the fourth year now.
yeah. I watched that a lot when I was sitting here freezing to death in Canada.
But she's my rooming buddy. She listens to Trials in the bed next to me,
Oh my God,
and she doesn't
that was
mind me
driving me
because
nuts.
I get up super early in the morning, and then I'm like,
Right, shut up.
"Whoops, sorry,and I just run out of the room and I leave, and then I and
You
so
lying.
she gets the whole room. She sleeps later.
Yeah. I know. I know all about it. You're
Yeah.
lying.
No, I'm
Shut up.
totally serious. You think I'm kidding that her and I room together?
No, I know you room together, but
Oh,
you're
okay.
lying about her.
No, she watches
You're
Trials
lying
and
on her.
she
I'm
wa-
sticking up for her.
no,
She gonna climb up a
she
tree?
listens to
Tree?
Trials on her
Hey,
phone with earbuds.
hey, shush. It's Christmas. You guys get in a big fight right now, okay?
Oh my gosh. I
It's
don't
Christmas. You
no.
fight.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I love Scooter McBooter.
Yeah,
Scooter.
no. Yeah, we went and then we went to Sandy Rusak's together.
I know. I
Yeah.
know
And
all about it.
Evie, me, Scooter, and yeah. And then Scooter went back to Indiana, and Evie and I went back to Pennsylvania.
I know. I know.
And we showed you the whole way.
That's what I was saying when I was seeing all those hurricanes and that. I was like, oh shit, that's the places where the cottages are and stuff, where you guys go,
Yeah,
right?
there was a tornado that went through
Holiday.
there, but
I
it
was like,
went.
oh my god, I want to go there one day.
It's okay. It's
I
okay. It's
wanted to rent
recovered.
an Airbnb there someday. I'm
It's
like, no,
yeah.
don't want to.
It
But,
recovered. It recovered. They
oh
recovered.
yeah, oh good.
Yeah, that happened earlier. That didn't happen after Milton, and it didn't happen with Helene. It happened
That was
prior.
before that.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. My cousin lives right there. So, and actually, he's up here
He
right
checked it
now.
all out.
Oh
He
yeah.
checked them all out.
He lives right in that town. Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
That's really awesome.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. That stuff survived. That's the most beautiful place on earth. I swear to God. There in like places on Maine, the East Coast. It's beautiful. I know, cause that's where my family is from. The whole East Coast. But in Canada, PEI, Nova Scotia. That's where all my family's from. But I know the East Coast. And I love that. And I thought, oh, that's so beautiful down where they're going. I wish I could afford to go someday. I would love to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
would love that. That's so beautiful. I'm so
it is.
glad that
It's
it's safe.
gorgeous. Yeah, it is gorgeous. But thanks for.
Nothing got hurt.
No, I mean the things did, but they rebuild. They took care of it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, Carolyn.
Thanks. But thanks for coming on.
Mm. Oh, you're so welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're so
And
welcome.
do you have a
And that's
good...
my opinion on Dee Dee. Take it or leave it, how you like it.
Right.
I think he was a very wonderful person. All I know, she's a good friend, and she helped me with my yard and everything. And she's a very, very nice person. That's all I can say.
Okay.
That's all I know.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, honey.
Good night. Take care.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you
Happy
again, too.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Good night, Jimmy.
Jimmy's already... Good night.
Okay.
He's already up, tucked in bed.
Screw you, Jimmy.
Okay.
Bye.
He'll listen tomorrow. I'll tell him. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Okay. There we go. So, all right. Well, Anywho. So let's talk about... So, yeah. So Gypsy is just really... Come on. Come on. She's nuts. And I don't know. I want to look at now some of the comments that this interview got. Okay, so let's just look. Let's look at some of the comments. They probably had to turn them off. Let me see if they had to turn them off. Okay, they've got 1,134 comments. Let's see what they say. And then these are comments on Fox's interview, okay? Let's look. Okay, it says, on why didn't Gypsy, knowing we know she had access to the internet, had a phone, why didn't she do anything when her mother was in the hospital overnight? Her mother had a few operations. One was having her womb removed, which she would have to stay in the hospital for a few days. And Nick asked her to just run away and not kill her, but Gypsy said, hold on a minute, this is the only way that they can be together. It's in the text messages. Yes, it is. Doctors ignored. Now the media ignored her lies over and over. It should be a requirement that murderers like you, Gypsy, serve the time that's due. Life. BS and BS. The chance, I think they mean fat chance. She should be serving her time. Life. Gypsy murdered her mother. She was dead before Nick even got there. She manipulated him into taking the fall, and she continues to use men to get what she wants. She used Ryan and was unfaithful to him, and she whined about getting a puppy to him and then abandoned the puppy. Wasn't that stupid when she got all upset just because he said a puppy requires work? Yeah, a puppy requires work, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. And she, big pouty face and had to go sit outside. She's such a little child. She's a murderer and manipulator. Shame on you, Fox, for giving this murderer a platform. Another one said, Gypsy's a monster. This is sad and pathetic. These reporters should be fired for spreading misinformation. Put her back in prison. So disappointed. Should have gotten your facts before you went on the air. By the way, you can't be diagnosed with Munchausen's by proxy if you're already deceased. They were both malingering. Gypsy still is. Someone said, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Do your effing homework. Gypsy was not medically abused. She was compliant and helped perpetrate the fraud her mother started. All she does is lie. Mainstream media makes me sick. More red tape? Does she not know what it's like to have a sick child and try to advocate for them? How many parents have told me at Children's Hospital they were told that their child's illness or cancer was nothing to worry about or completely dismissed until severe damage was done or the treatments will no longer help? Almost all of them. She wants to be an advocate for something she really never experienced. You all need to stop letting her have a platform to keep lying. Real journalism would be exposing her lies. Another one said she's not a victim. How about a real journalist and doing some real research and truth before platforming a killer and spreading misinformation? Another one said she literally walked around the neighborhood, had a bus pass to navigate her city alone. She would shoplift lingerie, knives to frame a man and kill her mother with, and wigs. She admitted to stealing thousands from her mom. She made porn online and sent it to men off of dating sites. She had phones to sext men, offered Nick to her daughter if if they had one. She faked multiple pregnancies with multiple men. She lied about miscarriages to make Nick hate her mom. She partook in a con and was under investigation for it when she killed her mom. Also, her mom's autopsy showed she was murdered before Nick got to town. She stole 2 knives, mailed one to Nick's home, and told him where to hide it. And guess who told the police exactly where it was? She also filmed herself having sex with Nick right after she murdered her mom. This chick is a psychopath. No remorse, manipulative. Someone said this is shameful, glorifying a murderer. This is teaching children that if you unalive a parent, you can blame it on abuse. Get a light sentence. Have movies made about you. Get out of prison early and become an influencer on social media with a huge amount of followers. Write a book capitalizing on the death and get interviews with ridiculous, unprofessional journalists, talking heads. Shame on you and your lack of integrity. Another one said, probably should do your research on your guests a little more, or don't just give a convicted murderer a platform to push her own narrative. Another one said, how easy is it to do a little bit of research and discover every single lie that comes out of this fraud's mouth has been debunked? Do better. Shame on you for airing a murdering liar. You people have no credibility. I haven't seen one positive comment so far. What is horrifying is this disgusting person that continues to grift off the public like she did when she partnered with her mom to con for money. The con continues. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was not the victim of her mother. She was not abused medically or physically by her mother. Surely Fox has the resources to have proper research on the violent crime committed by Gypsy. Fox, do better. Good Day LA really dropped the journalism ball on this one. Did anyone even research this psychopath? She was 23 years old when she killed her mother, not a child. Disgrace is that Fox News or any other news source is giving her a chance to promote her book. Gypsy ruled that her mother with her spoiled brat ways. Also, she shoot her mom with a BB gun, thinking it was real, so that should have been attempted murder. All the grifting her mother wasn't self-serving. It was to give Gypsy the best life. All life that not many children have ever experienced. Disneyland multiple times with VIP experience. Met tons of celebrities, ample donations, more holiday away at Vision Con. The list goes on and on. She has a chromosome deletion. All her surgeries were necessary. She was an unwell kid. Her poor mom towards the end was bedridden. She had multiple illnesses and cancer. Gypsy was too selfish to take care of her sick mom. She went on the internet to find a vulnerable man, the predator that she is, so it was easy for her to control and manipulate, coerce and gaslight him, and mentally abuse him. Someone on TikTok showed the text, and my heart broke for him. He's a vulnerable young man with autism. This sick woman is very dangerous, doesn't have an ounce of compassion. For Gypsy, it's always about living her best life, walk away, leave all the destruction she caused behind her. Now that's a textbook narcissist sociopath. These people are void of empathy, and trust me, this isn't the end with her. Lastly, it scares me that all the younger generation admire her, and there'll be a lot more parents getting took out. Another one said, everyone on YouTube knows the truth about Gypsy. How come mainstream media still sells her fake story? Those doctors should sue for her defamation. She should not be making money off her crime. She is infamous thanks to her crime. Her mouth is gross. I can barely fail watching that. Okay, what? If she really was medically abused, then why haven't any lawyers touched her high-profile case for a medical malpractice lawsuit? Ask yourselves that, Fox. Or should I say faux news? Her medical records are out in the public for all to see. Several professional healthcare workers, as well as her own father, have confirmed that she has a microdeletion disorder that caused a variety of health issues that warranted the so-called unnecessary medical procedures. Even in her book, she only lists 4 surgeries done, and they were necessary. She's a fraud, and her mother taught her well. You fell for it. And ask yourselves, why does she keep changing her story? Have you seen her interrogation video? It's very telling of who she really is. Someone said, this is disgusting. All it needs is a tiny bit of research into the matricidal manipulator. This is a disgusting interview with a disgusting person. It's been proven she did not suffer from any abuse. Her mother was a con artist. Gypsy was a con artist. She manipulated an autistic man, groomed him for over 2 years to take the life of her mother. Her mother was never diagnosed with Munchausen's by proxy. It was a narrative created to get away with murder, to get her a plea deal. She spent her childhood at Disney World. She took Make-A-Wish trips away from children who truly were sick and truly deserved it. And if you guys had done 10 seconds of research, you will see that the only thing that she has used her social media platform for is her own greed, makeup, and playing dress up. She has done no advocacy work, nothing. She hangs out next to the pool and takes selfies. She's done nothing to help organizations her and her mother scammed, including Habitat for Humanity and Make-A-Wish. She got out of prison, cheated on her husband, who she admits she only married to look good for the parole board, got pregnant, and has done nothing else. She has also attempted to cancel content creators by filing false copyright strikes because they criticized her behavior. She got one woman fired from her job and celebrated it. She lied to you both for 8 minutes straight, and because you did no research before she came on your show, you bought those lies and allowed her to spread more. The real reason she doesn't blame the doctors is because there is no blame to be had. Lawyers found out real fast that all the medical procedures and medications she had were needed. She has a chromosome disorder that once was diagnosed, all the surgeries and tests stopped because they discovered what was going on. You both embarrassed yourselves as journalists with this interview. Con artist continues to lie and manipulate people every day. Just like before, what a joke. Shame on Fox News. Where is the light at the end of the tunnel for Nicholas Godejohn? What good things did you leave him with all these lies? Fake victim. I'm done with her. So are so many others who are awake and aware of the truth. Stop giving this witch a platform and save it for those who need it, those who have a real story to tell. And to anyone who still falls for her story, wake up. You've been fooled by her and her lawyers successfully lured you in. The victim narrative and the Munchausen's by proxy, BS. Before you come for me, I suggest you do your own research. Google's free. Knowledge is power. Old Gyp and her lawyer also does not like to talk about her chromosome deletion. It's called 1Q21.1. And it is the reasoning behind her quote-unquote unnecessary surgeries. And no, old Gyps did not have over 100 surgeries. She barely had a handful, and the ones she had were warranted. Her medical records, Dee Dee's autopsy report, the crime scene photos are all available to be searched and viewed. Gypsy is a master manipulator, a psychopath, and she should not be walking amongst us. And do not give me the she had no choice, there was no way out. There was absolutely a way out. She had many opportunities to just leave. In fact, Nicholas Godejohn suggested just leaving instead of harming her mother. She was the one who insisted. Again, do your own research. Instead of being fed and believing the narrative the media and Lifetime tells you, stop supporting a murderer. And shame on this news channel for giving a spotlight to a psychopath. Was Dee Dee Blanchard perfect? Absolutely not. But she is nowhere near the monster that Gypsy tries to make her out to be. You also cannot diagnose a dead woman with a mental disorder like Munchausen's by proxy. In fact, Dee Dee was never diagnosed with any mental disorder in her life. But at the time of her death, she was a very ill woman, suffering from diabetes, advanced stage liver disease, which had advanced to hepatic fibrosis, thyroid disease, and was overcoming endometrial cancer. Dee Dee was guilty of conning people and programs for money. Gypsy was already sick and had legit medical issues. They just fabricated it to gain the sympathy they needed to profit. Gypsy was 24 years old and knew exactly what she was doing. She also refused therapy when in prison. This was already proven. A real victim of medical abuse with PTSD also doesn't run out of prison and get unnecessary elective nose job. I'm sure one of the two of you, Gyps butt kissers, will come for me in these comments. Bring it on. Y'all don't even have the facts. Your info's based on a TV show. Whatever the murderer is telling you. Sad world we live in to glorify a woman who offed her own mother and gets rewarded for it. Sick and disturbing. I noticed they used a picture of Dee Dee with her leg elevated and wrapped, I'm guessing from the accident they were involved in. Showing that photo without an explanation pushes their narrative and pushes one to think she was conning for herself too. It's despicable. She should not be allowed around minors. Her mother was never diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy. Dee Dee didn't have Munchausen by proxy. Wow, every comment here is negative. Everyone. Wouldn't Fox News go do an interview with Wade Wilson in jail, asking for a friend because you're interviewing a killer who, for over a year, manipulated a young man with autism, level 2, collecting a disability check every week. Yeah, and she paid him too, which could be murder for hire. So yeah. Unbelievable. I painted black. Shauna Faircloth. What is she talking about? I don't think she knows what she's saying. Who, Shauna? Me? Nick has autism, low IQ, and mental illness. He was on disability. Yes, he was. All these comments sound like people who watch this channel. They sound like people that know who Gypsy is. Let's put it that way. They don't sound like the mainstream media. A lot of this is speculation, but there is truth in it. Don't think anyone will ever know how accurate the version is because Gypsy will never give it. Well, it's not speculation that she groomed Nick for 2 years. We saw the proof of that, right? We saw the text messages. We saw the video she made. We saw the interrogation. We saw it. That's there. You know? That's there. But I think we're going to play the word game, and I'm exhausted. I've been up since 7 this morning, and I've been going and going and going and going and going and going and going. No, that wasn't from the university. Yesterday was from the university. That was from Fox. That was from Fox on their interview that I just went over. So you were wrong again, Kevin. Sorry. Sorry to tell you. I'd say the majority, I didn't see one positive comment. Just negative comments as far as I could say. Oh no, of course, the manipulation is true. Sorry, I meant more about Gypsy's child. Oh yeah, gotcha, Sharon. I gotcha, girl. Good to see you, Sharon. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming by. Play the daily puzzle. Sharon Howard, unkind. Yay, Sharon Howard, thank you. Very good. Sorry, watching last night and yelling out some answers, were you? Oh, okay. We did it, Sharon, thank you. You gave us that answer. That was really great. I want to see if we can play, let's see. I need this one, Sharon. Can you figure this one out? This last one over here? Igloo? Yay! Oh my gosh, this stupid thing. Oh my gosh, this stupid thing doesn't go the way I want it to.
Just me and you?
Oh my gosh, you scared the crap out of me. I forgot you were here and I was just like, what the hell? I thought somebody from the chat was talking like through the thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Oh my gosh, yes, I'm doing the word game. You scared me so
I know I'm
bad.
still tapping, girl. I'm been working.
I know, but I was like, hello, painted black, and then I thought you fell asleep because you didn't answer me.
No, I'm still tapping. I can't stop my mute,
Oh.
but we were the only two in here.
Oh my gosh, that scared me so bad.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
It's getting as bad
I was in the zone playing the word game. I didn't realize you were here.
I just unmuted because I had several people that stuck around over there, and I've been proud of them.
Oh, good.
TikTokers hanging on.
Yeah, I know. I have to get this up there because, like, I have to cut it down and then put it up there tomorrow for them, so that it's up there. Alto sax, like, right? Yeah, great. Okay, and then O and all, and then tall. Then let's see. Alloy. Yeah, that's a good one. Alloy. Okay, and toll. Yeah, that's a good one. This is that. Toll. Okay, and Is that Kevin? All right. Well, I'm going to give it a night. I'm going to call it a night. Tired. Gotta go to bed. But I thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for letting me vent about that interview. See you tomorrow. Love you. God bless. Prayers and be good. Good night.
Night.